Okay, fine. So now I am sharing the screen, entire screen. So I am sharing the screen now, and I am opening the software, SAP demonstration software. Okay, fine. So my SAP is visible to all of you. Okay, okay, fine. So in the last class, we have covered only 4 or 5 customizing steps. Okay, and whatever customization we have done in the last class, it was saved in my request in my folder. Okay, so now before going to the next customization, we will just go through the where it is saved. Actually, in SAP, whatever customization or transactions we pass, it saves in the logical database. It saves in the tables. Okay. So whatever customization we have done, we have not yet passed any end user entries, day-to-day entries, but we have created many customizing object. We have linked one object with the another in a very logical manner, keeping in mind of our purpose, what we are going to do in FI, what is our project. So all these customizing objects or customizing steps we have created and make the logical linking, it must have been saved in respective tables. So how to see those things in the specific tables, let us do that. Let us see that. But before that, one thing I will want to show you. In case of this is the area for end users. Okay, so all the end users work through this SAP EG access. In the SAP EG access, for going to any area, we can go through the path or we can go through the transaction codes. If we put the transaction code in the command prompt, then also we can go to the specific screen where we do the day-to-day accounting entries or day-to-day entries. But here, in my case, the transaction code is showing in addition to the description. But in your case, the transaction code might not be showing, but only the description. So in this case, how to activate so that the transaction code will show along with the description? Very simple. In this SAP Easy Access, just we have to go to the extras. Under the extras, there is a sub menu called settings. If we click on the settings, then a small window will come, and in this small window there are many things, but we have to tick here display technical names. Okay, so what is the meaning of technical names? As per the SAP terminology, the technical names is the transaction codes. Actually, in my case it is ticked, but in your case if it is not ticked, then you may not be able to see this transaction code for the easy access menus, any place of the easy access. So just to display the technical names and continue, that's it. So this is the way through which it can be activated. Similarly, for the customizing area, transaction codes are available, but it is also not showing. So how to get the transaction codes in the customizing area? Let us go to that place. I am going to the customizing area. Okay, this is the customizing area. So last time, the first customization we did is creation of company code. This is the actually the place where we created the company code. This is the place where we created the group company. This is the place where we created the business area. But we are not able to see the transaction code for these particular customizing steps. So how to activate this transaction code? We have to go to the additional information. Under the menu, we will go to the additional information. Again, additional information. Okay. So under the menu, we will go to the additional information. again we will go to the additional information, and under the additional information there is a menu, sub menu called display key, and we will select the display key, and there are 4 options. We will select IMG activity. Okay, so once we select the IMG activity, this additional information column will be created. We have to just stretch it. Once we stretch it, then we see there is a long technical name here, long technical name. These are the technical name, no doubt, but this is a long technical name. But the last 4 digit of this technical name is really the transaction code. For example, in case of creation of company code, the transaction code is OX02. I have sent the study materials today. So in that study materials, you might be finding all each and every steps with the transaction code. So for creation of the company code, the transaction code is OX02. For creation of the group company, the transaction code is OX15. Similarly, for creation of business area, the transaction code is OX03. So these are the things, these are the transaction codes. So regarding the assignment is concerned, like group company assignment, if we find out assign company code to company, then the last 4 digit of this long technical name, that is OX16, is the transaction code for assign company code to company. Okay, so this is the way in which we get the transaction code or technical name in the customizing step. But this particular screen cannot be kept indefinitely, cannot be kept always. If we come back, suppose I come back, again go to the customizing area, then this screen will not be available. Okay, this particular technical names will not be available. But again, just a minute. Okay, so if I log off, then it will not be available. Let us see. Even if I go to the come to the easy access and go there, it should be automatically vanished. Yes, it has gone. It has gone. Once you come to the easy access, then again you go to the customizing area. This will be vanished. So for again activation, we can go to the additional information, again additional information, display key, and IMG activity, and it has to be stretched from the top. So last 4 digit is the transaction code of this customizing path. Okay, so this is the thing. So we will go to the next thing, which is very common for the learning. That is the table. We know that SAP will be having 3 things, 3-tier architecture. In the 3-tier architecture, one area is our front end, which we see, how we see the software, and there is a middle area or middleware. That is the middle area where really the SAP software do the miracle. All kinds of programming, everything, syntax, that is in the software itself, SAP software itself. And there is a last end, which is the final end, that is called the database. So one is the front end, another is application server, and another is your database server. So that means client, application, database, 3 things are there. Client means the front end, the user, what the user see. But the middle area, normally the software, SAP software, that can be kept in another server. And finally there will be another server who saves the data in logical tables, in rows and columns. The data is saved. So till now in the last class, whatever thing we have done through the front end, what we see, but we are not able to see where the data saved. Actually the data is saved or information is saved, whether it is a customizing object creation or it is a data entry, day-to-day data entry. It must be saved in a specific tables. SAP is having more than 10,000 plus tables. But for finance is concerned, financial accounting is concerned, we have specific tables. So all the 10,000 consist of all modules and everything, but we have so many numbers of tables are also there. So now, though we have completed only 4 or 5 customizing settings, so now we have to go and see where the data saves in the table and how it looks like in the table. We have to see it. So first of all, we should know the name of the table. Okay, once, because every table is identified by a naming conventions. SAP is full of naming conventions. Everything will be having a short name as well as a descriptive name in customizing object, as well as all the above tables where the data resides, it is having a technical name or it is having a name. So we don't know creation of the company code saves in which table, creation of group company saves in which table, assignment of company code to company saves in which table, or business area saved in which table. But there is a very easiest way to find out the name of the table through our only a very small effort it requires. There is a transaction code called SE10. Actually, this is a transaction code belongs to basis consultants. Basis consultants frequently use this transaction code SE10. ABAPers also use this transaction code SE10. Put the transaction code SE10 and click on enter. Once I click on enter, then my user ID is automatically coming. If somebody's user ID is not coming, it has to put its own user ID. Okay, then actually this is the screen where we can see all our customizing object what we have created. Okay, there are two types of object: customizing object and workbench objects, or customizing request, workbench request. This I will discuss in when we will sufficiently advance in SAP. These are technical things, but SE10 is the transaction code where we will directly land in the screen itself. Then I will click on display here. Once I click on the display here, my customizing request will show. Actually, there are two customizing requests. Last class also I show you. One is for my user ID. One was FI basic customization for Gandhi group, and another was FI customization for Max. So I will, all my FI customization for Max is already saved in this folder. So I just click on this folder, and again another subfolder is coming. Then again I click here. So once I click here, 5 numbers of customizing objects I have created. Okay, so the first customizing object, because the name itself is describing those things. So my first customizing object is edit, copy, delete, check company code. I have created the company code first. So if I click on this node, then again these things are opening, and once it is opening with the table content, customizing table content. Then again if I want to open, these things are again opening. Similarly, there is a view maintenance data, it is also coming, and under the view maintenance data there is a v underscore T001. If I again open it, there are two tables which is appearing here, T001 and T882. If I again click on T001, then what it is showing here, 800-7100. So what does it mean, 800-7100? 800 is my client and 7100 is my company code. Okay, again I am telling, in the last class I have created a company code having the identification as 7100, Max Industries Limited, and the same is created under the client 800. Okay, client 800 is the client which is supplied by my vendor, and I have logged in that client. So combinedly 800-7100 is coming. And what is the name of the table? The name of the table is T001. Okay, fine. So I don't have to remember the name of the table. easily it can be extracted from the description itself, edit, copy, delete, check company code data. When I open the different notes, finally I discover the name of table T001. There is also a table T882. Okay, so two tables are there. Now let us see the above table where this customization is saved, how it looks like, and in addition to my company code, there are so many company codes are also there people have created. So it might be found out in the same table itself, no doubt, because in the same table all the company codes which are created under this client 800, it will be also be available. So let us see and explore the table itself. We know that at a time we can open 6 numbers of screens simultaneously and work. 6 numbers of screens. So what is 6 number of screens? This is not a screen, this is the logon pad. So what is the screen? So this is the first screen. We can open some more screens up to maximum 6 numbers. Okay, so I am opening a screen in parallel. Let us open another one. Okay, so this is the screen which is opened. For going to any table and see it in the database, there is a transaction code called SE16N. This is a transaction code to display a specific table. So I put the transaction code SE16N and click enter. Okay, so once I click enter, I have to give the table name. So what is the table name? I display T001 is the table where I have created the company code 7100. So all the ABAPers follow this path and I put 2001 here and put enter. Once I put enter, then all these things becomes white. Previously it was gray and all these things becomes white. I want to see my company code only because there are so many company codes were there. So I will put from value 7100 to value 7100. So I want to see specifically my company code. Once I put here, then I will click on online. Okay, so once I click on the online, the table is displayed before me. So how the table is displayed? This is the name of the, this is nothing but rows and columns. Yeah. So here, tell me, sir.
From here now you can push it.
Okay, so I put T001 here. After putting T001, I put enter once. Again I am coming. So I am going to the SE16N. So once I put the go to the SE16N, I have to put the table name here. Once I put the table name, then I have to put the company code name here 7100. If it is gray, all the things are gray, then I have to put enter once. Once I put enter, then these things will be white, and I will put specific my company code, and the technical names of the company code in SAP is Bookers, BUKRS, and the client name is Mandate, MANDT. Actually we are not concerned with all these things. These are very much tedious from the beginning of the session, but just for the sake of understanding where the data lies, I am showing this. So we are not seriously learning all these things. These are the areas of basis consultants. As an end user, nobody knows these things. Only the power users and consultants in FI, they will be having some idea regarding the table and extraction of data. So once I put the company code from company code to company code, I am very specific to see the customizing objects of this company code. Then I will click on execute or online. So once I click on the execute, all the things relating to my company code is showing here. So here the short name is coming, the descriptive name is coming, the city, country, currency, language, fiscal year variant, group company assignment. Group company is 70001, that is max group of company. These are also assigned. The address, so everything what I have created previously, it is also showing here. Okay, this is a long list actually. If we go to the right hand side, so many things are there. We have not created anything. Once we will create more and more things, then things will be updated on the right side. Okay, because we are on the very primitive stage of construction of my company code, so there are so many values which are still blank. Okay, so by the time it will be created, like chart of account, these things are not there. So VAT registration number, so many things are there which is not appearing. Suppose I don't put the name of my company code, but without putting the name of my company code, I just put the table name, and I put, there is a maximum number of hits here. So what is the meaning of maximum number of hits? That means maximum it will show you 500 numbers of company code informations. So if we are going to see all, then always we have to remove this 500 limits, otherwise only first 500 will be shown. So I am removing the limits, and I want to see all the company code informations whatever the participants or users have created in this client 800. So in this case I have to put only the table name and click on the online or execute. Once I click on the execute, then all the company codes which is already created in this client is appearing here, but here it is 203. So what is the meaning of 203? Number of hits is 203. That means only 203 numbers of company codes are appearing here. So this is the view of my table T001. Okay, and all these informations I can very easily export to a spreadsheet or local file. I can transfer. So the data in the table which is appearing, whether it is a customizing data or whether it is a transaction data, if we know the table, then easily we can extract all the informations, all the transactions, all the customizing object from that table, and we can easily export it to our desktop through the use of spreadsheet, and we can create any kind of report out of that. But the most important thing is knowing the name of a table. Customizing related table is very easy because we are using SC10. So SC10 is self-descriptive. Okay, SC10 is self-descriptive. What is the name of the table? But in case of transaction related informations which are saved in different tables, in that case, because transaction is not a customizing object, so in this case we have to know where the table, in which table the data, transaction data is saving. So in this case, readily without remembering anything, like we don't remember, and easily we are finding out what is the table. But in case of your transaction data, this kinds of possibility will not be there because transaction data will not appear here. Okay, so this is the way in which the things happens. So for in case of business area, the name of the table is TGSB. Let us find out this. Let us find out this. TGSB. Okay, so I click on online. So once I click on online, then all the tables, all the informations, how many informations are there? 105 numbers of informations are there. So is it 105? Is it correct? So we can also find out from the directly from the customizing screen itself, because we are in the table. The table must be equal to which is there in the customizing path. So this is the customizing path: enterprise structure, definitions, financial accounting, business area. Okay, if I see this screen, how many business area are there? there were 105 numbers of business area. So what is the first business area? The first business area is 0001. So this is the user view. This is the graphical user interface view. How the user looks it through the graphical user interface. But this is the view of the table. Okay, this is the difference. I am displaying the data directly from the table itself. Here is also 105 numbers of hits. That means 105 numbers of business area are there. And the first business area, the name is 0001. That is the business area 0001. Okay. So this view is table view. The name of the table is TGSB. And this view is the graphical user interface GUI view. Okay, so this is the way in which we can find out the specific tables from through the use of SC10. We don't have to remember the table names because so many tables will be there in FI as well as controlling. So only very frequently used tables, because end users are only power users and consultants. They only remember the important tables which are very frequently used. So instead of getting the data from the direct standard report, someone can go to the table itself and export the data in Excel files or spreadsheets. Okay, fine. So this was the discussion regarding the table is concerned, and we will go to the next area, next customization. So next customization is our chart of accounts. So what is chart of accounts? Let us understand. What is chart of account? I am opening one Excel sheet. From there we will understand the concept of chart of account, because we will cover very extensively. See, chart of account, in one line I can say chart of account is a customizing object or creation of a identification under which we create list of ledger accounts. Any company which is interested to maintain the financial statements or financial entries, it has to create list of ledger accounts. So list of ledger accounts belongs to a company. It should be very much specific. That means this list of ledger accounts must be under a particular identification. So that identification is actually called chart of account. So chart of account is the identification of my list of ledger account. However, my chart of account describes something more than that. It is no doubt one creation of customizing object, but it also gives information how my chart of account, how my ledger account will look like, what is the language of my ledger account, because you know SAP is used, it's a global package. So my ledger account, is it in English or is it in French, Germany, which language my ledger account will be there, and what is the length of my ledger account. Actually in SAP or any accounting package, as a standard practice, the ledger account is depicted by a short name as well as a long name. Okay, and the short name, it should be, by standard, it should be numerical. So my ledger account should be numerical, and how many numbers will be there, what is the length of the numbers. So is it 4 digit, 5 digit or 6 digit? Obviously it will be having a description, no doubt, but in case of tally package or anything, we may only rely on the descriptive part, salary account, wages account, like that. But salary account is the description only, it should be unique. So that uniqueness can be created if a numerical identification of that salary account will be available, because the name of the company code also we have given a numerical identification 7100. So similarly SAP always runs in creation of customizing object with a short name as well as a descriptive name, and the short name is always unique. So if the short name matches with the same name in the table itself, then the data throws errors. In a same table, if we cannot create similar technical names or similar short names two times. So suppose I am creating a company code having already created 7100. Onwards, any user, if they will try to create another descriptive name, may be different. Myself is Max Limited, Industries Limited, there might be something else. But 7100 cannot be used for creation of a company code onwards because it has already been created. So my chart of account describes how my GL account looks like and what will be the language of my GL account. So that is called your chart of account. There are three types of chart of account which I will describe. In certification also very frequently questions are asked. There are three types of chart of account I will describe now. One is operating chart of account, operating chart of accounts, and another is your group chart of accounts, and another one is your country chart of account, okay. So what is these three things? Let us understand. Logically we will understand, then we will move the subsequent customizing. Okay, so this operating chart of account is the central, this is the nucleus. So why operating chart of account is nucleus and group chart of account is connected with this operating chart of account? See, normally what happens, SAP is implemented in such organizations where frequent consolidation of information, consolidation of financial statements is required. For example, let us take an example. Suppose in India there is a group headquarter which is situated in, say, US. For their Indian operation, they have two numbers of companies. One company is producing, say, motor cars. Another company is manufacturing computers. Similarly, there are another two companies which is there operating in UK. One company is also concerned in, say, manufacturing of computers, and another company is operating in, say, hotel industries, hospitality industries, another company is there. But their group headquarter is situated in USA. So in this case, what happens? The group headquarter must be interested to know the consolidated result of the two numbers of companies operating in India as well as two numbers of companies operating in UK. But the nature of these four companies are entirely different. In India, there is a company code which is operating in production of motor cars or motor vehicles. Another company is operating producing, say, computer desktops and laptops. Similarly, UK, one company is concerned with managing hotels, construction and management of hotels. Another company maybe, say, they are in the manufacturing of arms and ammunitions. So entirely these four companies, the operations are very much different, but the headquarter is in US and they are interested to know the group result as a whole. So how they will know the group result on a real time basis? Every day they are able to see the financial statements sitting at the US. So how this is possible? This is possible through the use of group chart of account as well as operating chart of account. Again, as per the country India taxation and other formalities is concerned, the consolidated financial statement of two numbers of company codes operating in India, that is for motor vehicle as well as computer hardwares or computer system. In case of taxation also, suppose one is operating in losses, one is having losing, another is having profit. So in this case, set off mechanism is also available in India, but this cannot be extended to UK. So in this case, the Indian operating two company codes, their data, their financials has to be also consolidated. So there are three numbers of challenges. The challenge is total four number of company operations has to be consolidated for the persons who are sitting in, say, Washington. Okay, suppose this is the headquarter, and each and every company codes, their result or their financial statement should be unique. So for that purpose, we have to use operating chart of accounts. That means every four number of companies, every companies, they will be having their individual chart of accounts, individual list of ledger accounts. Let us take an example. The company which is operating in management of hotels, definitely they have to use and create some GL accounts which are very much unique to their operation only, that cannot be used in manufacturing of ammunitions, or those GL accounts cannot be used for the operation of your manufacturing of your computer hardware or computer system as well as motor vehicle. Let us take an example. Suppose the hotel business of UK, they are using one GL account, casino expenses. So every hotel in US and UK, they will be having casinos where different types of gambling and everything, these kinds of activities are undertaken. And the person who enters the casino, they have to deposit certain money to enter into the casino. And in the casino, they can get some drinks, snacks, so many things are there inside. So for those purpose, those hotel industries, they have to create some unique GL accounts specific to their requirement and their operation. But these GL accounts have no place in the same UK. There is an ammunition manufacturing factory. They don't require all these kinds of GL accounts. But the group in the group level who are sitting in Washington DC, they want to see the consolidated report, consolidated financial statement, profit and loss account as well as balance sheet. So they may not go into details what is the casino expenses or what is the expenses relating to their power, fuel, rent, etc., etc. So they may go to a broad based consolidation, broad based GLs. Okay, let us take an example. Suppose hotels, they are using what they are paying water charges and electricity charges. Okay, and Indian manufacturing operations, they are paying rent. They don't have any own factory and anything. So all the company codes in India, they are paying rent. They don't have any. They don't have their own setup. So, but group level, there can be a GL account. The name of that GL account may be utility expenses. So utility expenses, suppose there is a GL account called utility expenses account. Okay, so in this utility expenses account, one of the, I'm just creating another one. Okay, so this is also a operating chart of account, operating chart of account for, say, hotel in UK, and this is the operating chart of account of, say, motor car business in India. Okay, So motor car business in India, they are using a GL account, a rent account. And hotel industries, they are having a GL account, say water charges, account. Okay, but at the group headquarter level, they are not interested for the water charges or rent, but they are interested for the consolidation of these two charges, and they have a GL account called utility expenses account. Okay, so in this case, while creating the rent account, because these are the operating chart of account, so while creating the GL account under my motor car business, whenever I will create a rent account, I have to map it with the utility expenses account, as well as whenever I will create the water charge account in the hotel industries in UK, then also it has to be mapped to the utility expenses account. So what will the result of it? The result of it will, whenever any entries will be passed using this GL account, or whenever any entries will be passed in India using the rent account, on a real time basis, the amount is updated in utility expenses account for the reporting at the group level. Understand? Any questions?
No, no, clear. Though basically, those GLs should be mapped to the utility GLs.
Yes. So actually, in a very hurriedly manner, if SAP is learnt, normally in those cases, country chart of account and group chart of account has to be omitted. What I did for the chapter, country chart of account and group chart of account concept was never discussed. But for the certification or for the holistic learning, these two things has to be there, and these two things has to be demonstrated. Not that I am discussing theoretically and that's all. It should not be there. I should apply it in my company code, Max Industries Limited, and also I should show you the report, how the whenever any entries I am passing here, how it is updated at the group GL level. Okay, so that is the purpose. And this operating chart of account may be different from company code to company code, but while creating the GL account under the operating chart of account, definitely the group chart of account mapping has to be made, as well as in case of country India, I have taken an example where in the country India there is also two numbers of company codes, and for the legal status or legal point of view, there can be a set of mechanism between the two company codes in India itself, not bothering about different countries. So in this case, I also need, for the set of mechanism also, I also need another chart of account where I will link the GL account of the operating chart of account itself India with the country chart of account India, so that consolidation at the India level is also possible. Similarly, in case of UK also, they will be having the country chart of account UK, where they will link it their individual operating chart of account GLs with the respective GL accounts lying for the UK country chart of account, so that the consolidation at the group level is also possible, as well as the consolidation at the country level is also possible. Okay, so that is the relevance of your country chart of account. So
Actually, there is a question. So, this operating chart of accounts passes through the country chart of accounts, then to group chart of accounts, or once operating chart of accounts are directly mapped to group chart of accounts, so that on real-time basis, it directly automates the group chart of accounts.
on a
It
real
is not passing through.
no, this is, so therefore as it is not passing through, so I have kept the operating chart of account in the middle area. It actually, there is no serial, that first of all it will be linked with this one, then second it will be linked with the group, then third it will be linked with the country chart of account. It's not like that. Parallelly it will be linked, mapped with the group as well as the country. Whenever we will create the GL account, I will show you practically whenever I will create the specific GL account, rent account, then additional two numbers of GL account I have to map in my master data. GL account is nothing, it is a master data. By using that master data, we will do the accounting entry. So in my master data, while creating the master data, I will map it. I will give the utility expenses GL account number as well as the country, for the purpose of country India consolidation. I will give the unique GL account number which will be used for my country level consolidation in India. Okay, so that is the thing.
So if it is correctly, if I were understood correctly, that means once operating chart of accounts are updated or any transaction happens in operating chart of accounts, it simultaneously updates both country chart of accounts and group chart of accounts.
Yes, fine. That is the thing. So user will go on entering the data at the operating chart of account without paying attention what is happening at the group level or country chart of account level, but the information will parallelly updated there.
So again another minor point is that operating chart of accounts, any transaction is given. So the mapping, my question is that whether the mapping starts in a root manner through country to group, or the mapping to group is different and mapping to country is different. So that will clarify my question.
See, the mapping is done at a once while creating the general ledger account. So
Got it?
in the general ledger account, while creating the GL account number, there two numbers of additional fields will be available. In these two fields, one field will be meant for the group chart of account GL account number, another field will be the country chart of account GL account number. Once it is given, then it is okay. That's it.
So group chart of accounts, it's searching for the operating chart of accounts, or it is searching for country chart of accounts, or searching for both of it.
Actually, we always primarily search for the operating chart of account.
Okay, that means once we make any transaction in operating chart of accounts, then it automates both country and group simultaneously, and it is having no cross link as such.
Yes.
That means operating chart of account one way linked to group and on other way it is linked to country.
Yes. So I have kept it in the middle itself, and on the left hand side and on the right hand side, I have put the country chart of account and group chart of account. Okay. So once we do it practically, then everything will be clear. Okay. So once we do it practically in SAP, then we will see and understand how it is happening. So now I am opening the software again and create a chart of account, operating chart of account.
But posting period variant we have not created. That is
Yes, I'll do. After, because it is a long discussion, so I started with this chart of account. Then step by step I will do that.
okay.
Okay. So now I will go to and create chart of accounts. So here I will create three numbers of chart of account. That is very important because I need the three requirements. One is the operating chart of account, which will be used my company code Max Industries Limited. Then I will create another chart of account which will be used for the group level consolidation, and I will also use another chart of account for my country level consolidation. So I will go through the path SPRO, SAP reference IMG. Then I will go to the financial accounting, and I will go to the general ledger accounting. Then I will go to the master data. Then I will go to the GL account. I will go to the preparations. Then I will go to edit chart of account list. Okay. So once I go to the edit chart of account list, there are already 71 numbers of chart of accounts has been created. Okay. So now I will create my own chart of account. So for creating my own chart of account, I will click on the new entries button. Okay. So I am giving the chart of account name exactly the same name of my company code name. So it is obviously the operating chart of account of my company, the first one. So I'm giving the name as operating COA. CO means operating chart of account 7100. Okay, so it is very clear that this is the chart of account I am going to create for my business operations, day-to-day operations. But mapping to other chart of account is always possible, but this is the nucleus, this is the primary requirement. Okay, without operating chart of account nothing can happen. Those things can be omitted, those things can be bypassed, but this is a must. Then my chart of account, I am giving a naming convention, short name as well as descriptive name for remembering easily without any confusion. I am going to use the same company code name here. And then there is the general specifications. What will be the language I am using for my chart of account? Actually, whatever language I will decide here, that language will be used for creation of my general ledger. Okay, while creating the general ledger accounting GL account, that specific language will be used. As it is a global package, so basically there are so many languages, but my GL account I will create in English, so I am opting English. So next thing is length of the GL account number. So whatever general ledger account I will create in future, what is the length? I have already told you that as a standard practice, GL account is identified by a number as well as a description. That is the standard practice. So what is the length of my GL account? Is it 4-digit number, 5-digit number, 6-digit number? Let us decide it the 6-digit. Then the third area is controlling integration. Controlling integration means any GL account in FI, financial accounting, is called GL is called cost element in cost accounting. Financial accounting, it is called GL expenses account, but cost accounting, this is called cost element. Similarly, in financial accounting, the thing which is called the revenue, in the costing it is called the revenue element. So there are two concepts, cost element and the revenue element. Okay, because any GL account can be either of the four. What are either of the four? Any GL account can be in the nature of expenses, can be in the nature of revenue, or it can be in the nature of assets, or it can be in the nature of liabilities. So the ledger, the GL account which is in the nature of expenses and incomes, they are subject to further assessment, further activities at the costing level or controlling level. So my GL accounts, how it will be treated in costing or controlling? There are two options: manual creation of cost element, automatic creation of cost element. I am selecting manual creation of cost element because so many GL accounts are there in financial accounting which is excluded from the cost accounting. Okay, so therefore, because that's why there is a chapter called reconciliation between financial and cost. There are some incomes which are part of financial accounting but not part of cost accounting. Also there are some expenses account which are part of financial accounting but not part of cost accounting. Similarly, for that purpose I have to select manual creation of cost element, because I will later on declare which are my cost elements, expenses as well as cost element. But though it is an expenses in financial accounting, but it is not an cost element in cost accounting. Okay, then I am coming.
Here is a question.
Yes.
Here is a question actually. So when you are saying manual creation of cost elements, that means those expenses for which the cost center will be given, that will be taken to CO for the costing purposes, and while there will be no cost center, that will be treated as revenue elements. Is that true?
See, exactly those those expenses which have no relations with the cost accounting, there is no use to transfer it to the costing itself.
That means cost center will not be given. So how any expenses, no?
Yeah.
When you are booking any transactions, when you are going for any document entry,
Yeah.
so whenever you are assigning any cost center for that transaction,
Yeah.
then it is touching to the CO area.
Yeah.
If you are not assigning any cost center, it is not touching to the cost area. Am I correct as far as this one? The booking in the CO and FI is concerned.
Yes, actually, whenever we are creating a GL expenses account, that is not sufficient. We have to declare it as a cost element. Okay, suppose we are creating a salary account in general ledger accounting, but that salary will not go to the cost accounting unless and until we declare it as a cost element. We declare it as a cost element. That is another step, because whenever we are creating the GL account, that is not the end. We have to declare it as a cost element. Unless and until we will declare it as a cost element, it will never pass to the cost accounts.
That means when you are declaring it as a cost element, that means cost center assignment is a must in that.
Yes, cost center assignment is a must.
Correct. Okay. Got it.
So, this is the way in which we are creating the operating chart of account. But there is a requirement here. The requirement is consolidation. Under the consolidation, it is asking for the group chart of account name. What is the name of my group chart of account? But I have not created the group chart of account yet. So once I create the group chart of account, again I will come back to this screen and link or map my group chart of account name with my operating chart of account. So as I have not created the group chart of account, so I cannot assign anything. And the third thing is blocked. What is the meaning of blocked? Once I do a block mark here, then nobody can create general ledger account under this chart of account, because whenever we create the GL account, it should be always under a chart of account. So once I block it, so no person in the organization can create duplicate GL accounts or anything. So this screen is a very vital screen. The person who creates the GL account, they have specific authorization of this screen. So this blocking indicator always blocks further creation of GL account. Suppose a GL account is required, then it has to be unblocked, saved, GL accounts is created, and again it is blocked and closed. So this is for the control mechanism. This is for the control mechanism for creation of subsequent GL accounts, because in a live concern also sometimes due to the requirement of the organization, more and more numbers of GL account is created, and some old GL accounts is also blocked for posting. Some old GL accounts, like in case of VAT period, that input VAT or all these things, those GL accounts are redundant. So in those cases, those GL accounts becomes blocked, and after GST implementation of GST, enactment of GST, new GL accounts also created, like percentage 8%, 9%, 2.5%, 4%, CGST, SGST, IGST, so many numbers of new GL accounts were created. So in this case, we have to deblock it, create the further GL account, then again block it. So once block it, nobody can create the new GL accounts.
We are not creating GLs for the different tax rates. Rather, we are creating flags for it. Like once you choose that particular flag, so accordingly take. Suppose I choose CGST, IGST, whatever flag I choose, accordingly it takes the tax percentage. We are not creating separate GL for it.
See, that GL account mapping, because there are tax codes created, so those tax codes are mapped with the specific GL accounts. So that tax code has to be mapped, it has to be flagged. So once the code is flagged, automatically in the background it is linked with the GL account, because without linking of the GL account, how one entry is created, expenses account debited, SGST or CGST receivable account debited, as well as payables or outstanding. So definitely it is linked with the respective GL account, but it is linked through the codes. So that codes is flagged actually. So we will also cover taxation, and I will show there all these things, how this linking automatic account assignments is there through the GL accounts. Okay, again I am going and I am creating. So I am going to the financial accounting, then general ledger accounting, master data, GL accounts. Then I will go to the preparations and click on edit chart of account list. So new entries button is here. Click on the new entries. I am giving 7,100, and I am giving the operating chart of accounts of 7100. The language is definitely English. Length is 6 digit. Manual creation. This is now, for the time being, this is blank. Again I will come back, then click on save. So while saving, my request is actually not coming. So how to get my request? So for that purpose I have to click on own request. So in this request there are two things, Gandhi and this one. Okay, just a minute. Okay, somebody has saved so many things in my customizing request. Actually I have transported that request, therefore I think it's not showing me. No, it's not showing. I have to create a request. Actually that transport, how from one server to another the customizing setting is transported, I was experimenting today, so that's why it is not showing. So let us create my customizing request again. So FI customization, of max, save. Okay, so now I will click here, click on continue, and I will click on continue again. Okay, so now this is saved. So after saving this, my requirement is not limited to operating chart of account. My requirement is consolidation. So I will click on next entry button. So in the next entry button, I am putting 711111. So this is my group chart of account. So I can write here group chart of accounts 7111. Okay, so let my group chart of account is also in English, and GL account length say 4. Actually for operating chart of account it is 6 digit length, but for the group chart of account let it have as 4 digit length. Okay, then that's it. Click on save. Okay, so after that I am creating another chart of account. Okay, so let the chart of account name 7112. I am putting the name as country India chart of accounts for max, and maintenance language is also English. Let us have 4 digit and save it. Okay, once I save, then again I will come back. Once I come back, I am clicking on this 7100, the first one, operating chart of account. Here I will link my group chart of account. So group chart of account is also created by me, 7111. So I am linking with 7111 and click on save. Okay, so in this screen my operating chart of account name is linked with my group chart of account name. I have not created GL account, but the basic structure basic purpose in which I am creating the chart of account, I am deciding here itself. Okay, so later on, when I will create the GL account, I will create a GL account under my operating chart of account. I will also create a GL account under my group chart of account. And while creating, first of all, I will create a GL account under the group chart of account. Whenever I will create a GL account under the operating chart of account, I will make the linkage of that. So this is the way in which my operating chart of account is linked with the group chart of account. So I will go to the next area. So regarding the country chart of account, there is a question. Where is the country chart of account? Because country chart of account is also requirement, but linking has not been done. So linking will be done in the next step. That is assign company code to chart of account. Click on execute. So here there is no new entry button, but I have to link. So what I have to link? My company code name is 7100. Okay, so under my company code 7100, I am linking the chart of account name 7100, and I am linking the country chart of account name here itself. So I have also created another chart of account, which is the country chart of account for Max, which is required for the India level consolidation. Okay, for the country India level consolidation, because country India, there is a separate taxation rules, regulations through which there can be a set of mechanism between the two company codes operating under a group where the profit and loss can be consolidated. So consolidation is not only required for the US level, Washington level, but also I require the consolidation at the country India level. So that is possible. That linkage is done in this screen itself. So in this screen, my company code is linked with my operating chart of account as well as the country chart of account. In the previous screen, my operating chart of account was linked with the group chart of account. So that's why my three things becomes okay. So three things are there. This is operating chart of account, and this is country chart of account. And this is happened in this transaction code. My operating chart of account as well as my country chart of account. This is linked here. And in my previous screen, my my operating chart of account was linked with the group chart of account. Which screen it was there? In the previous screen. In the previous screen, that is edit chart of account list. If I go to the 7100, I see 7100 is linked with my group chart of account. And on the very next screen, what happened? My country chart of account, I'm just finding the company code, everything will be there. So my operating chart of account is linked with my country chart of account. So middle one is your operating chart of account, and it is linked with country chart of account as well as it is linked with the group chart of account. So this is the core under which all the entries will be passed, and due to the mapping, automatically the transaction figure or the balancing figure will be updated at the country level as well as it will be updated at the group headquarter level. Say it is in US, Washington. Okay, so that is the uses of my chart of account, and I have created a chart of account and assign it with the specific company codes. Then I will come to the next customizing task. So the next customization task is define account group. So what is the meaning of account group? Let us understand. See, whenever I will create the GL account, that GL account may be the nature of anything out of 4, any one out of 4. Either my GL account will be in the nature of expenses, or it can be in the nature of revenue, or it can be in the nature of assets, or it can be in the nature of liabilities. But again, under the expenses, there may be the nature may differ from one to another. For example, some of the GL accounts may be in the nature of manufacturing expenses. Some of the GL account may be in the nature of employee cost related. Some of the GL accounts may be in the nature of administration, and others may be in the nature of selling and distribution. Okay. So in this case, what happens? I have to create certain grouping mechanism. So that grouping mechanism helps me to create group wise reports also, group wise expenses also, because somebody may want to see what is the employee cost related expenses, what is the manufacturing expenses, what are the selling and distribution expenses, what are the admin related expenses. Similarly, under the asset and liabilities also, somebody may be interested to find out current assets, non-current asset. So this can be the requirement of the any organization. Fixed asset, current asset, non-current asset. Similarly, on the liability side, current liability, non-current liability, because these are the requirement of your framing of the financial statement also. So revised schedule 6, schedule 3, there are specific requirements how the grouping mechanism will be there in your financial statements. Though we are not able to group exactly as per the schedule 3 requirements, but we will do some groupings. But that can be also. If the groupings will be very same, will be the replica of our representation in financial statement, then also financial statement can be easily extracted from the SAP itself without making the conversion of it from the GL account through the Excel sheets. Because normally what happened in SAP is very much capable of finding out, very much capable of creating the balance sheet, profit and loss account, schedules, everything it can be, but it requires customization, and that customization starts from the grouping level. The level what we are approaching now, that is the root on the basis of which further mapping is required for complete set of making of financial statement as per the schedule 3 requirement without Excel interference. But most of the organization, they don't do it. They transport all the GL accounts to the Excel sheet, and those Excel sheets are mapped with the specific through use of formulas and everything, through pivot tables or VLOOKUPs. Pivot tables, they are connected with the respective groupings, they are connected with the respective areas, and financial statement entirely is prepared through the Excel interface. But we should learn something how to create group, and under that group only we will create the respective GL accounts. Okay. So for the creation of groups, click on the new entries button. Now while creating the group, first of all you have to create the chart of, you have to give the name of your chart of account, then you have to give the group name, short name as well as descriptive name, then from GL account number to GL account. That is the requirement. So I am creating my first group. Say my first chart of account is 7100. This is the operating chart of account. So under this operating chart of account, I am creating a group. Say, I am going to the Excel sheet again, and I will show something regarding my what is my decision. So all liabilities starts with, say, starts with 1. Assets starts with 2. Similarly, the incomes or revenue starts with 3. Expenses starts with 4. So what does it mean, starts with? I have already told you that whenever I will create any GL account, it should be having a descriptive name as well as the short name. Okay. So and also I have decided that it will be 6 digit. So I have decided that all my liability GL, there the range will be 1 lakh to 1,99,999. So all the liability GL will be under 1 lakh to 1,99,999. Obviously, under the liabilities also there will be so many groups, no issues. But all the GLs will be under this range. Similarly, my assets GL accounts or the GL accounts in the nature of assets that will start with 2 lakhs and it will continue up to 2,99,999. Okay. Similarly, my revenues or income GLs, it will be started from 3 lakhs and it will go up to 3,99,999. Similarly, my expenses GL will start from the GL account number 4 lakhs to 4 lakh 99,999. Okay, so this is the structure in which I will create the GL for my operating chart of account. Operating chart of account. I am writing here operating chart of accounts. Okay, operating chart. What is the name of operating chart of account? 7100. Okay, this is the logic. This is the decision. Actually, this is not logic. This is the decision which is decided first. Then I will create the grouping under this. So obviously I will create the group. Similarly, under country chart of account, country chart of account is 7112, I think. Let us see. 7112. 7112 is my country chart of account, and here because this is 6 digit. Actually, these are 6 digits. Okay, these are 6 digits. So as these are all these are 6 digits. So but country chart of account, all my country chart of account things, those are 4 digits. Okay, so here the things are 4. So here these are 4 digits. 4 digit GL will be there. So for this purpose, even if my this things will be there, obviously I am copying all these things to this place, but instead I will remove, say, 110 here. I'm removing 2 numbers of digits, last digit. So 1000 to 1,999. Similarly, I will be having 2000 to 2,999. Similarly, I will be having 3000 to 3,999. Actually, why it is reduced? Why in case of country chart of account and operating chart of group chart of account, why these digits are reduced? Because these are for the reporting purpose. These are for the reporting purpose. Okay, but details we can very well see from the operating chart of account. So therefore, whatever example I was showing you, suppose rent, electricity, water, these are different GL accounts. But for the reporting purpose, we can use it a single GL account which is called the utility expenses, because we are interested in the group level consolidation. So individual GL level scrutiny and analysis at Washington DC, it is not important. So therefore, the number of GL accounts at the group level or the country level is always very less. So instead of, see, 1 lakh to 1,99,999, how many GL accounts are available for creation? So number of GL accounts is 1 lakh. Similarly, every liabilities, assets, expenses and income, at every stage we have we can create 1 lakh GL accounts, which is more than sufficient. But here very few numbers of 999 numbers of GL can be maximum created. So that is more than enough, because there the similar GLs are consolidated with a single GL, like rent, electricity, water, heating, all these charges, that can be consolidated under utility expenses at the group level as well as say in the country level. Okay, so this is the way in which this things has been cut short. Similarly, there is also another chart of account group I have to create. So I have to create 3 numbers of groups. This is my 7111 and the name is group chart of account. Okay, so this is my group chart of account. Say same thing we are following here at the group level also. So this will be the structure at the group level also. Okay, so in the next class I will create the grouping, but one thing, even if I will create the full grouping of my operating chart of account, but I am just approaching this country chart of account and group chart of account for the demonstration purpose. So that's why I will create only one group of the expenses in country chart of account and one group for expenses in the group chart of account. And while creating that expenses account, for example rent, I will link it with the utility expenses at the country level as well as utility expenses GL at the group level, and only 1 or 2 GLs I will map and show you how in the reporting whenever we make an entry in those GLs how automatically things are clubbed in utility expenses at the group level as well as the country level. Otherwise my activities and maintenance of all these things demonstrations might be very difficult subsequently. So once we understand in few numbers of expenses GL it's working, then automatically saying you will be very confident that I can do it, I can extend it for all also, all the GL accounts also. Okay, so that will be my agenda, that will be my purpose of the discussion. So so I can close the session now, but tomorrow I think instead of night we can resume the class in the morning hours.
What time?
You tell what will be the suitable time, because night we cannot do it. So 9 o'clock we can do. Tomorrow 9 o'clock we can start.
So 9 to 10:30.
9 to 10:30. Or from 10 to 11:30. Tell me what will be the suitable time.
Tomorrow is Deepavali, so everybody has
Yeah, tomorrow is Deepavali, so in the night we cannot do any classes.
घर वाले काम में लगाएंगे sir.
So what we'll do? We will stop tomorrow.
That will be better.
Okay, it's all right. So we are stopping the class tomorrow. Again, we will meet on Saturday.
Fine.
So I expect that all of you will do the practice, and I have forwarded 3 numbers of books actually. What one is very one is a Word version which is very normal for whatever, very straightforward without any description or anything. Second one, some descriptions are there, fundamental theoretical things are there, and the third one is a SAP Press, genuine SAP Press book, which is very much extensive. All the theoretical concept and everything are there. So you can simultaneously topic by topic cover from all these 3 books, or after 2-3 topics then we will go to the second one, third one. The label is 1, 2, 3 like that. So from first one you can do the customization very easily if you follow that and my video. Second one, some more informations you can get. Third one is just like everything is there in the third one. It is a SAP Press book. Okay, so I am expecting that you will do the practice. We will meet on the next Saturday, coming Saturday. Okay.
Today's recording also.
Yeah, the recording is already there. All the conversations are also going on. So I will send just now, maybe after 10-15 minutes, I will send it. Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Thank you. So good night, all of you.
Thank you. Good night. Happy Diwali.
Same to you, sir. Same to you.
Happy Diwali.
Same to you, Archana. Same to you.